Are we on yet? Are we on yet? Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, and speaking of, are we on yet? Hello, are we on yet? Is this thing on? Hi, everybody. My name is Don Farrell, and I'm one of the three co-founders of Actors Theater of Indiana. And sitting with me here for I guess this is our third episode of
Yeah, I think so.
Lunch Break with ATI. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us at Actors Theater of Indiana. This is our fearless leader, Mr. Jim Reilly, our executive director. He's been with us, and he makes all the magic happen. What you get to see on stage, he makes all happen behind the scenes. So we're going to spend some time getting to know a little bit more about Jim, what he does for the organization, what it means to be an executive director, and just talk about some fun stuff.
Probably several fun things.
Probably several. We're going to learn. We're going to learn a lot of new things about Jim. I love it. So yeah, Ted. You know, one of the great stories that I love so much about how you got started with Actors Theater of Indiana. This is a really good one. Tell the story about how you got wrangled in.
I think it was Chicago, I believe. Your first show here?
Our very first show was Chicago at the Studio Theater.
At the
yeah,
Studio
in
Theater. And
2011.
My wife, PJ, and I came to it, and we just loved it. And then we came home, and I forget what triggered the conversation, but we were saying how you guys are just a well-kept secret, and nobody was giving you a whole lot of press at that time. So she wrote a letter, I think to Current, saying that. And I guess you guys or the girls or somebody read it in the paper and saw this thing. And she signed my name to the letter, too. She wrote it, but signed my name to it. So I got a call from Actors Theater of Indiana asking me to come in for an interview. And I just retired from my real estate career, and I was doing some consulting for not-for-profit organizations. So I said, sure. So we met, and they needed some help. They were growing. They needed help from a business standpoint, and that's my background. So I said, sure, let's see what we can do. And I agreed to a 3-month contract to work with Actors Theater. And here we are 11 years later, and I'm still doing it. So,
loving every minute, I know.
Every minute, having a ball doing it. But that was funny.
And PJ to thank because she signed your. Did you know that she was writing this letter?
You know, I can't recall. Probably not.
Thanks, PJ.
It was a secretive thing. But she signed it, and then I got a call, and it just worked out well. And I've been having a ball doing this. And I think my skills are a good fit for Actors Theater.
Yeah, we're very, very blessed to have you a part of the team leading the drive, sailing the ship forward.
To just be aware, and you guys are aware, that I don't sing and I don't dance and I don't act.
No, but you play a mean piano. You should hear him play the piano sometime. Wonderful at the 88s.
Well, I can do some crazy things.
So talk about so originally from Chester, Pennsylvania.
Chester, Pennsylvania, home of Bill Haley and the Comets.
Bill Haley
Bill
and the
Haley
Comets.
Came from.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him personally though, but Chester, it's just south of Philadelphia. There's a city south of Philly, and we ended up. I went to school at a little college called Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland, which is just south of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Mm.
And I met PJ in college. We got married, and then we moved to Laurel, Maryland, which is right outside. It's between Baltimore and Washington. And then we had some children, and then I got a job out here at Simon Property Group.
So that's what brought you from Pennsylvania to.
Well, actually, we lived in Maryland
Okay.
after college, but then I got an opportunity to go to Simon Property Group, and I was there for about 8 years, and then I had an opportunity to go run the city market.
What was that like?
But, that was different.
Yeah, different than Simon. Yeah.
Oh, a lot different than Simon, and I was there about 12 years. So then I decided to do some consulting for not-for-profit organizations. My theory was that a lot of not-for-profits have great ideas to start an organization, but they don't know how to really run the organization. Mm-hmm. My background being business and accounting, I figured that was a good fit. And but I've only had one client, and that's been Actors Theater.
Our timing. It's all about timing, y'all. So yeah, we lucked up, snatched you up before somebody else did.
Well, it's been a fun experience, and what really makes it fun is I think I'm helping the organization. I think you've gone through a tremendous growth period here the past couple of years, and I think I was able to lead the marketing charge. Thanks to Meg Osborne, and she does all of our marketing for us and all of our development for us. So finding Meg was really a critical piece of the puzzle, I think. And then we have a great grant writer. If you know anything about not-for-profits, grant writing is an incredibly important piece of the puzzle. A lot more important than I ever realized. And we have one grant writer that we use, Elaine Mancini, who has done an outstanding job. And I don't know how she does grant writing. It is the most difficult job I think I've ever seen in my life. But she does a great job there. So we're tied into the grants, we're tied into the marketing and development. And there's a girl who's our bookkeeper, Kathy Berg, who worked for me at Simon Property Group.
I know. We love Kathy. Thank you for bringing her on.
So the team is in place, and we have a lot of fun doing this, and I think we're making an impact.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember, because before you came on, it was really Judy Fitzgerald, Cynthia Collins, and myself kind of doing all of those things.
Doing everything, yeah.
And I remember, because I got a BFA in music theater from University of Cincinnati. I didn't know anything about business. My dad worked for IBM, so residually kind of learning things just by following him. But as far as accounting, any of that type of stuff, I knew we had to do books. We knew that. So I remember when you brought Kathy on, I was like, oh, thank the Lord. And then I was like, Kathy, what do you like to drink? Because I'm buying you a case of it, because you have to figure out what the heck all this is and make it all make sense.
And she's done that.
She really has. She's done an amazing job. Elaine as well, amazing. Meg, we have a great team.
We really do. The thing that I really tried to follow was Actors Theater is first and foremost a business. Yeah, it's a professional theater company, but it's first and foremost a business, and you got to run it like a business. And that's been my approach from day one.
What things, because with the market, when you were at the market, and that you said for 12 years, right?
Yeah.
So you really saw a wide range of change and growth that happened in Indianapolis as well.
Right.
So what kind of experiences from that in the trenches watching that? Because that's a not-for-profit.
Not-for-profit.
So in transferring those type of lessons and experiences from the city market to ATI?
I came to the market with a company called Cosine and Cosine, under the direction of, actually, they were friends with Steve Goldsmith, who was the mayor at that time. And Steve was just the brainchild for a lot of the growth that you see in Indianapolis today.
Is that right?
He was a wonderful mayor. And that was my start down there. But yeah, it was just growing a whole lot.
I mean, the number of vendors there.
Number of vendors, we were
Huge.
successful. It was huge. I'll never forget Dick Lugar when he was running for president. He decided to announce his candidacy at the city market.
Great man.
Great man. I remember the day. All the news trucks are parked outside all around the market.
Yeah.
CNN, plus all the other news stations. And right before he was to announce that he's running for president, the Oklahoma City bombing occurred.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a big vacuum. All the news people just left the city
You're
market
kidding,
to go
really?
to the trucks, and he never got back on track.
Ah, man. Yeah.
And it was too bad, because he was a neat guy.
Really did amazing things for our nation, for the state, the city, and our nation. Really great man. So the city market, now with ATI. And, you also have my dad attended Bishop McGinnis Catholic School. You're a product of the St. James High School in Chester. Talk about growing up in Catholic school. I know my dad. I know Dad's here with us, but he'd be sharing stories with you about the nuns with the clickers and everything like that.
The clickers and the rollers on the knuckles.
Really?
And everything else. And it's funny,
But your penmanship is amazing, though.
Well, I worked on that. Yeah. I worked on
Did the nuns have anything to do with that?
Probably a little bit. Yeah. There are things that you learn in Catholic school that stay with you for life. It's a discipline. It's a way of life, and you just do it. And we find ourselves, and PJ went to Catholic school also, and we find ourselves, doing all these things that it's more of a structured approach to life. And it's little things, but we just see ourselves doing these occasionally. You say, well, it's Catholic school. I have a sign at the office that says, I survived Catholic school. Okay. But it was neat. Then I went to a Catholic college. I had 16 straight years of Catholic education.
Mm.
And until my junior year in college, I had to wear a coat and tie every day to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but that's just the way it was.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
That's just the way it was.
To set that up, and you've got a beautiful family. And PJ is, for you guys know, PJ and Jim, they're like Mr. and Mrs. Carmel. Everybody knows them and adores them deeply. PJ, she was like Mrs. Carmel High School, right? I mean, how many different, so many kids that got to know your lovely wife.
She was there about 28 years and loved it. And it just became time for, she was ready to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do some traveling and whatever. But yeah, she's enjoying retirement, but I think she's getting ready to do some volunteer work.
Good.
I think she's
Good.
ready to do that. So if anybody knows of anything, give us a holler.
I have a feeling she's going to stay away from ATI since we got this guy so much here. But yeah, PJ, if you guys watched when the pandemic hit back 2020, good old March of 2020, and Meg Osborne brought to the team an idea about starting Facebook Live outreach, and we were like jumped on that. That was perfect for our community, and we felt really strongly about trying to continue staying connected, because I think we all needed that. I know I needed it definitely personally as well. And so we were talking before we went live. We were talking about how great that was, like the tagline or whatever at the beginning of it somehow was an outtake, and it ended up becoming part of it. If you go to our Facebook Lives and watch them, and you can see PJ, and what does she do? She says,
Get your face in front of the camera and say, "Are we on yet?" or something like that. Anyway.
And it just became part of the branding of the ATI Live. It was awesome. It's just so, that's the thing. You can't write that type of stuff, right?
No,
you can't script it. It's perfect. So growing up in Philly, big Phillies fan. I grew up in Georgia, a big Atlanta fan. And how was it?
We really shouldn't be this close.
I know, we really shouldn't. We just do this for you guys. But the Phillies had a good run at it.
Had a good run.
Came in second, National League East, man.
Have high hopes for this year. They've made some good purchases, and I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so. I was just reading about that. You got Bryson Stott and Kyle Schwarber just got signed.
Yeah, and Castro. I can't think of this Castro.
Yeah. Castellan.
They got him from the Reds.
Yeah, from the Reds. So they're doing really great. You ready for opening day, April 7?
Pass ready for that.
Pass ready, yeah.
But it should be fun. I've been a Phillies fan my entire life. I think when you grow up, you have to have an allegiance for a baseball team. It's just the American way.
Yeah, it is.
And it's always been the Phillies. I lived in Baltimore, went to some Orioles games, but I never really became a big Orioles fan. Lived in Washington for a while. Never became a Senator. At that time, it was the Senators.
Mm-hmm.
But the Phillies have been in my childhood and now my adult life, and it's just hard to get rid of that kind of an allegiance.
Sure. Yeah, I remember I became an Atlanta Braves fan back when Ted Turner was open. I mean, the front seats were free. I mean, not free. You had to pay for the seats closest to the field, but all the general admission up that was all free to get in. They made the money off of the hot dogs and stuff. That was when they went from. That was back when they're not so hot. Then they went from last to first back there, and that was amazing. But yeah, I agree. I think it's everybody. It's very. But what I want to know, what is the Phillies mascot? What is that?
Well, Don, if you don't know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
I was
It's
like,
some kind of a.
it's some
I'm not
kind
really
of a
sure.
mythical baseball creature.
But he's the most popular mascot.
He is. Everybody knows
Baseball.
what it is.
Everybody
It's like
knows
there's a Phillies mascot.
Yep.
Yep. So good. Did you get down to Indianapolis Indians? Great ballpark. You want to talk about a great minor league ballpark?
Beautiful park.
Yeah.
One thing I do miss about Philadelphia are the hoagies and the cheese sticks. I can't figure out why nobody out here can figure out how to make a Philly cheese
Philly
stick
chick like
or a
back
Philly
home.
hoagie. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Good stuff. Well, I'm sure we've got a lot of good restaurants around here, and we've got a lot of great chefs. I'm sure they could figure that out. We just have to give them a shot. But I know it's home, right? So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Well, you got anything else you want to share with anybody about? Oh, how about your family? Talk about your kids. Your kids are amazing. They're great sports. They're wonderful at the sports as well.
We have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. The oldest girl wanted to go to University of Dayton for a variety of reasons, so she went to University of Dayton. And our son wanted engineering, and he liked the Dayton program for engineering. He was accepted at several other schools, including Purdue. But he liked the Dayton engineering program so well that he went to Dayton also.
Good school.
And our youngest daughter, Katie, was a volleyball player, and she was recruited by a number of schools, but Dayton made her an offer she couldn't refuse, so she went to Dayton to play volleyball.
Yeah.
So they all went to the University of Dayton, and they all married Dayton kids.
Uh-huh.
And now we're just ready to graduate our third granddaughter from University of Dayton.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
So, friends and families.
Yeah.
But it's a neat school. And then I have a grandson at Georgetown University. He plays lacrosse at Georgetown. I had an older grandson who played lacrosse at Virginia. And my next grandson will be playing lacrosse at Bucknell next year.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's an active family.
A very active family. And that's one of the things I think that also drew Judy, and well, Judy being from here, all of her family, so she already knew about how great the community was. But for Cindy and I to choose also, that's one of the things. It's so family oriented. It's just a beautiful community that everybody supports, and it's a great place to raise kids.
Yeah, it
really is.
We moved here in '77. Never looked back.
Yeah.
I think PJ was in shock for the first 6 months because all she saw was cornfields. She couldn't figure out why we were here. But she quickly got over it.
Well, now she's got places like Feinstein. She got the Center for the Performing Arts. She got all the wonderful restaurants
around. The center has
and
changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Because it was truly a small farm town when we moved here.
Yeah.
The train came through every day. The old Monon, and Ace Hardware is where the pipe room is now, and they tore that down. Everybody cried because they loved the old Ace Hardware store. That was just part of Old Carmel that was being torn down. But you get used to it, and it's been replaced by a lot of nice things, and it's a great place.
Yeah, the city and the community and the leaders of that really put a lot of forethought into it. It hasn't been done, just on a whim. It definitely a lot of thought, and we get to be the beneficiaries of all that.
Yep. Every time our kids come out to visit, they go into a mild panic when they got to drive around here.
We do seem to like our circles.
And if you're not used to it, it's kind of scary for them.
Yeah.
Especially the young kids that just got their license. But you survive.
Yeah. Well,
it's a great place.
Carmel believes strongly in educating, and they're driving away from Carmel educated on roundabouts and how to navigate that. Yeah. And so when they go to Europe, it's like piece of cake. I've been through that. I've done Carmel. So, listen, I am also mentoring another young nonprofit that's starting up, and they're community theater up in the Noblesville area. So, if they're watching, or you have any other nonprofits that are up and starting from an executive director position, what kind of guidance, what kind of words of wisdom that you would share for those who are really trying to start up from your perspective and all your experience from all the many jobs you've done?
I would go back to what I said earlier. Any not-for-profit, it's first and foremost a business, and you got to run it like a business. You may have all the greatest skills in whatever you're trying to accomplish through your not-for-profit, but you got to treat it like a business and get somebody leading it who has a little financial experience, but can also make good decisions, and just that's what I would do first. Find somebody to lead it that's got some business experience.
Cool. Well, we certainly have that here with Actors Theater of Indiana, and our blessings of being able to have a man like Jim Reilly leading the helm, taking care of us and making sure us crazy artists stay in line.
Oh, if I only have been keeping the journals for 11 years.
I know, that would be a definite bestseller. Well, check us out. This is episode 3 of Lunch Break with ATI with Mr. Jim Reilly. And check out Actors Theater of Indiana. We got some really exciting stuff coming up very soon. We're going to be announcing our 2022-2023 season. That's 18 years. That's our 18th season. And Jim's been with us for many of those, the majority of our years here. So should be able to go to atistage.org. You can also follow us here on our Facebook page. So thank you very much for checking us out here. And until next week, we'll see you again for Lunch Break with ATI. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye.